algorithm is very similar to your reflection of reality, meaning the two eyes you see, right? Like what you're seeing out there and what your own attention is focused on. And like similar to the algorithm, what you're focused on different apps and the data that's being collected.
Yeah. It's like the Matrix paraphrase. The algorithm is everywhere. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
I got the sage burning up in the crib. Shawty wanna see how I live. First I gotta see what a vibe like. You know that it come for good the whole night. Pain on a young nigga's mind.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 8th episode?
I think.
8th or 7th episode of the Conscious Cast, and today, or what we're going to start our topic about, is distraction in the media, right? Not distraction in the media, even though the media can have distractions in it, but distraction and the media, okay? It's going to be a conjunction, alright? So, would you like to start, my man?
Yeah, we talk a lot about like kind of philosophical and like internal thought-related
Open-ended questions?
Yeah, topics on this podcast, and I feel like we should, I brought it. Me and Cal are bringing it up. We should try and ground it to the physical a little more, so we can have that relation.
Yeah.
So, but today, it's Monday the 19th, and Cal released the segment of the previous podcast that we were talking about, like kind of body dysmorphia in terms of like women, low key.
Yeah.
But
from our own experience.
From our own experience. But yeah, it was that was kind of like what like spiraled into this episode.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, there's a lot of we live in a like time of constant availability where
age of information.
Yeah, not just information, everything. You can get your TV shows. You can have your food sent to your house.
Yep.
You can have
everything. Yeah, you're right.
You can have like anything you really need, you cannot move. You cannot leave your house and have it sent to you outside of human contact. Yeah. Unless you buy a prostitute, but that's different. We do not condone prostitution here in the state of Connecticut. But nonetheless, there's distraction everywhere. And in this age of accessibility, it's very easy to lose your way.
Yep.
Extremely easy to lose your way.
Yep.
Because you don't need to really put any effort into to live.
Yep, for sure.
Which is dark and fucked up to say, but it's true.
Yeah,
definitely. And it's like, especially like with the media, you can get like your phone in your pocket. This fucker right here. We can get everything like you want here. But there's so much deprivation of human contact. Like this, that's why this is so important.
Yeah, for sure.
Like two people sitting down having a dialogue about something.
Yeah.
And this is what's lost in our politics today because we're too focused on the shit over here.
Self-image, all that stuff.
Yeah, self-image and all the conflicting ideology. And especially like I think of it this way: a phone, like arguing over the phone, is like kind of like road rage because you disconnect the person. Like you have the screen, so you associate the person with the screen name. It's like when you're driving and someone cuts you off in traffic or something, and you're pissed, and then you're like, you don't think of the person.
Yeah.
You think of like this asshole driving the car.
Yeah.
It's not like that's a guy. Yeah. That guy has probably like a family.
Yeah, there's more than the more that meets the eye. You know?
Like this person on the phone arguing with you over like fucking Twitter or something probably has reasons behind this, but they're too busy shouting at me behind a screen. And also, a lot of times that's used as a cover for people to like be assholes, which is oftentimes a deep-seated, insecurity in themselves. That they feel like they have to shit on people online to get satisfaction for themselves, which is probably born from being being distracted by all this social media bullshit.
Yeah, all this shit. Yeah,
and it's like that prevents them from actually doing like real world work on yourself. Like pursuing your purpose, like getting shit done. There's no other way around it. Like this is a distraction, but it's a tool.
Yeah.
But it's a big distraction.
Oh yeah.
Octopus with the 8 phones on the Nike fucking sweatshirt or hoodie.
Yeah.
But it's like that's exactly what it is.
100%.
It's like you can't avoid distraction, but you can mitigate it.
Yeah.
Like distraction will always be there. It's just a matter of internally being able to resist it.
Yeah.
And
No. You want to keep going?
No, that was where I was going to.
Oh no, 100%. No, and like bouncing off literally what you just said. It's not exactly what you just said, but interchangeably, it's what you're placing your attention on, right?
Yes.
Because like, whatever we place our attention on, like I always say, creates our reality, right? And if we're constantly focusing on like the technological world, where this be like different forms of communication, like media communication, like mass media, whether that be through the TV, whether that be YouTube, whether that be Instagram, ways of consuming your information, that, like, whatever you're focusing on predominantly, and whatever the algorithm is showing you and feeding you, which is literally, it's listening to us right now through the phone, it takes those little data bytes, and it continues to show you what you are continually placing your attention on. So whether that be MMA, UFC, different type of politics, right? It's very similar to, or the algorithm is very similar to reality, right? Because whatever you continue to focus on will continue to show up in your feed, in your perception, in your reality, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, just to finish off, the algorithm is very similar to your reflection of reality, meaning the two eyes you see, right? Like what you're seeing out there and what your own attention is focused on, and like similar to the algorithm, what you're focused on different apps and the data that's being collected.
Yeah. Like the Matrix paraphrase, the algorithm is everywhere. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
Yeah, 100%.
And you must be wary of the algorithm. For the algorithm only responds with what you feed it.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
And if you feed it, if you feed into like the negative side of social media and media in general, that's what it'll keep showing you. Yeah. You throw some likes on some radical feminist stuff or any like right wing, left wing, it doesn't matter. And it's going to spit that back out at you because it's like you're enjoying it. It perceives you as enjoying it, and it keeps spouting this venom at you that you are actively partaking in. You are drinking the snake venom, and you keep the algorithm keeps pouring you a glass because you keep drinking it. And like sometimes you gotta ditch the glass of venom and pick up a glass of water.
The clean shit.
Yeah, the clean shit. That clean shit is reality.
Yeah. Clean shit's legit.
Clean shit is legit.
Yeah.
But no, like that's.
Never thought I'd say that.
But no, it's that's what it is. What it is. Like that's what you gotta. That's how you have to perceive it. You have to, like, you can use a phone to better yourself, to access more information, to learn more skills, learn how to learn more. Like, I started listening to this podcast because I heard him on Rogan. He's a neurobiologist named Andrew Huberman. His podcast, Huberman Lab. Go check it out. And I've been listening to it, and it's like teaching you how to, like, he talks about the science behind quicker learning, getting better at like training weights, physical activity, all the benefits, sleep. And I'm using, like, that's an outlet via my phone and the internet. And it's feeding me useful information because I'm indulging in it.
Yeah.
But the information is useless unless you put it into practice.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to learn more about skills. Right now I don't have the time due to my job being full time and everything.
Researching.
Yeah. But come school, I'll have more, like when we start the semester, I'll have more time to explore, like just to relax, but also to explore interests in other skills. Stuff that will like train in disciplines that will eventually help me become a better agent in the FBI. If and when I get there. But like you got to take in what is useful and discard what is not. And there's a lot of shit to discard on here, but there's a lot of shit to take in. That's a Bruce Lee quote, but that's what you got to do. You got to not ignore distraction, resist it, and pursue not perfection, progress in reality.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's very good. Disregard what is not useful to you, right? Because, like you said, no growth happens in your comfort zone, right? And then what do you know? The algorithm, will constantly keep feeding you shit to keep you there, right? Because the algorithm, it's legal, right? It's legal. And companies, businesses, platforms like YouTube use it to keep you on their platform, right? Because the more you're on their platform, the more you're watching advertisers, right? And the advertisers, the more they make money, right? It's just a part of their business plan, and unfortunately, a lot of people aren't aware of that, right? And they think that this is their reality, right? Even I'm not saying in terms of like, oh, yo, this is my reality. No, but like it is dictating their reality, right? And a lot of media. I don't want to say like Fox News, CNN, but like really any type of media that you agenda-based media, right? That you heavily focus on and you do not question, right? And they're constantly you're letting them think for you, right? And when you don't question, you're not like you're just taking what they're saying as fact. We talk about that a lot, right? But when you question it and you're like, hey, maybe what they're saying is not right, right? Because you can think for yourself, right? You have the ability to, like you said, disregard information that might not be useful, that is not helping you make progress, right? And then once you make that questioning, an awareness sparks up, right? And then you're kind of intrigued and curious to explore new information, right? And then you'll see how the media is not always portraying the full story, right? Like you said, agenda-based media, right? They have an agenda. They're going to show you, listen, there is false information in the media, right? It has been proven. But most of the times...
There is fake news.
Most of the times, right, they do portray, like, true stuff, right? It's how they spin it. It's how they... You know what I mean? It's the marketing. It's the persuasion, the rhetoric behind how they're doing it, right?
The deceit.
Yeah, the deceit, right? How they're deceiving you. And deceiving really just means lack of information. What sides of the story are they not showing, right? You could see this with COVID. You could see this with a race. You could really see this with any story. Politics, right? A lot of sides to the story aren't shown. That's why, you look back into the 70s, right? Over 90% of the media, even current today, is owned by 6 corporations, right? 6 corporations own 90% of the media. I think it's like Warner Bros., right? Other big media companies like that. But then once you see these decentralized...
Disney.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the mouse. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. Like once you see like these, as like we said, the age of information. Different technologies come out where it's allowed for decentralization on platforms such as YouTube. Even though there is a lot of censoring of very valid content, even I do agree with censorship of misinformation. Clearly misinformation. But with valid information, you get a wide variety of perspectives, right? And you can start to think for yourself. The media doesn't want you to think for yourself, right? Because their fear is that you don't agree with them, right? And you don't have the same frame of reference that they do, because if you do, you're going to disagree. And if you disagree, you're probably not going to watch them as much, and they're not making as much money, which is their number one priority. So with this age of information, you've got to be, one, question everything, right? Whether that be us talking to you right now, right? Yep. Question us. Go see for yourself. Question the media. Question everything, because you never know if it's truthful or not. And with that questioning, you can really start to think for yourself. And it is so gratifying. It is so freeing, because you can come up with your own conclusions, your own analysis, and it's really great,
Yep. Stay woke, people.
Stay woke.
Not woke in terms of like...
Yeah, mainstream bullshit.
Yeah, mainstream.
Yeah,
we're talking woke to the problem.
Aware.
Staying woke. Woke, aware.
Being conscious.
Consciousness. You're awake from when they put you to sleep.
Fuck yeah.
But going back to what Cal was saying about curiosity and questioning everything. Question everything. Like, I'm going back to politics because it's the most glaring answer in the entire thing, but you take politics and you, like, someone says something, like Ben Shapiro or something, check the studies. Google Scholar.
Yeah, check the author.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, check to see the verification. Check the studies. Check the proof. Check everything.
Proof's in the pudding.
It's the pudding, because the pudding tastes good.
Yeah.
But you don't want to switch up your pudding with shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't want to eat you want to eat the chocolate pudding, not the dookie.
The clean shit, The clean shit.
Yeah, you got the pudding is true information.
You got to find it.
Yeah, it's fact. But the pudding is lost in a sea of shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And I forget what the quote was, but it's like, damn, I had it, I lost it. But no, I had it, and I lost it. But it was it was Neil deGrasse Tyson said it, and it was the universe doesn't care how you feel about it.
Oh, yeah.
It will exist either way. Like, that's fact is fact.
Yeah.
There's no debating that this is fact. Like,
It's objective.
we're sitting here behind like in front of a camera talking. That is a fact.
Yeah.
You can interpret that.
It's observable. You know, like, yeah.
Your opinion is not a fact.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
yeah. Like, the universe doesn't care how you feel about it. It has no obligation to submit to your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Your opinion is mostly fallacy, but it is fact in your mind.
It's bias.
Yeah, bias. And another thing from Neil deGrasse Tyson, he said we live in an age of confirmation bias, and that is absolutely true, because you can look up anything, no matter how frugal, or not frugal,
Fallacious?
not
Fraudulent?
fraudulent it is. It's, you will back up your point with it.
Yeah, you view it from your own.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
moral
just like, you have your main point, and then due to this, you can pull everything from it.
Yeah.
And just to back up your point. But that makes it really hard for people to be open to changing their mind. And if you need to be open to new experiences, open to new perspectives. Perspective is everything, especially for me, because I value other people's opinions. Like, I may disagree, but you have a different opinion than me, which makes you valuable as a friend.
Yeah.
Like, now I don't befriend people based off of their differing opinions.
Yeah.
But the alternate perspective helps me understand where they're coming from and where other people like them are coming
Very
from.
good. Yeah. True.
And, it's different if people are just being assholes. Like, there's difference between constructive criticism, differing perspective, and just putting people down. And people that will just use, their phones to spew bullshit at
Keyboard
people.
warriors.
Yeah.
Twitter fingers, whatever you want to call
Keyboard
it.
warriors. The cringe lords of that lurk in Twitter, just spouting shit at you. Those guys, they're not open to dialogue.
Sea of shit.
They are swimming in the sea of shit.
Yeah. Thanks.
But we got the shovel. You can choose to pick up the shovel and dig to the pudding.
Yep.
You gotta dig through the shit, because there's a lot of shit.
Once you get to that pudding,
you'll see the proof.
you'll see the proof.
And it's gonna taste sweet. Sweet with the fucking glorious knowledge.
Hit you with the plug. I got the sage burning up in the crib. Shawty wanna see how I live. First I gotta see you with a vibe like. You know that it come for good the whole